I got that. For the last 30 days, I've been trying to learn calisthenics from scratch. For years, I'd see guys doing stuff like this and think there's no way I could ever fucking do that. But to be fair, I did look like this 2 years ago. I could barely do a push-up, let alone a pull-up. But even then, it still inspired me. These guys looked like anime characters, and I wanted that. So I decided to give myself 30 days to progress in calisthenics as much as possible. And let me tell you, I wish I started sooner. Before we get into it, here is my starting stats. I can do around 5 to 6 pull-ups, 20 bodyweight dips, and roughly 30 push-ups in a row. And I've been lifting weights for over 2 years, and I can bench 225 for 3 to 5 reps. But when it comes to calisthenics, I have zero experience aside from watching other people. I set one main goal for these 30 days. Hold a handstand. Why? Because it looks sick and it actually feels achievable to me. Of course, I'm also setting some other goals like L-sits and that like floating plank hold that looks really cool, but I'm not sure how difficult that is. So day one was honestly just a lot of this. Falling and falling and falling. It felt like I was just flailing my body around with no idea what I was doing. I train calisthenics 3 times per week. So across 30 days, that's like around 10, maybe 12 like proper training days. And I still lifted weights the rest of the week, and I'd still like try a L-sit here and there and train core on those other days. And then around day 7, the dip bars I ordered also arrived, which they were honestly, it took up a lot more space than I thought, but they're still pretty fun to play with. Early on, I was struggling a lot with L-sits, not even handstands. I hadn't even attempted handstands yet. I was struggling with L-sits because I had really weak core strength. Since I've never really trained much core throughout my life, and since I've always been fat, I've never really had a particularly strong core. Like, I don't have those abs. So I started adding in core training at the end of all of my workouts on top of the 3 calisthenics training days per week. Around day 12, I decided it was time to attempt handstand. I decided I was going to go to the beach one morning at 5 a.m. and I'm like, wouldn't the beach be a cool place to train calisthenics? Wouldn't it look sick? So I brought my parallettes and decided I'd maybe do calisthenics. Depends on the vibes at the beach or how many people are there. Lucky for me, there wasn't a single person there. And I got my parallettes out for some reason like an idiot. Like, not only am I on an inclined sandy beach, obviously they're gonna sink in the sand. So yeah, and I almost twisted my wrist because of that. But let's just say I stayed there attempting handstands for a long time. I did get some really good attempts, and then I eventually got this attempt, which I actually held it for a couple seconds, which felt amazing. But yeah, that was a big mindset shift, because up until then, I honestly didn't think I had the strength to even attempt a handstand. But after holding that, it made me kind of realize that if I just got my core strength down and got my stability down, I could just hold a handstand and that would look sick. Anyways, from there on out, I kind of took a bit of a break from training calisthenics, mostly because after that, my wrists were really hurting, and it was affecting not only that, my gym progress, because I just got this weighted belt, so I started training weighted dips at the gym, which was really, really hard on the wrists. However, dips is also calisthenics since it's body weight, and I managed to do 80-pound weighted dips for a few reps, which was also a big milestone for me since I've only ever done body weight dips. And it was also around this time that my L-sit started to improve to the point where I could actually hold it for a couple seconds. And that brings us to closer to day 20. So I was going out to the beach to see family, and you know, the last time I got a handstand, it was on a beach, so I thought, why not try again? So, you know, I walked out to the farthest sandbar I could find because I didn't want people see me falling over and over, and I started attempting handstands, and I stayed out there for hours, and my wrists felt like they were going to snap. It actually hurt really bad, but I was really determined to get that handstand because I had some really good attempts, and it was actually starting to piss me off because I kept losing my balance and I didn't understand why, and I couldn't see until now how messed up my balance was. However, I did get one really good attempt. I held it for 5-6 seconds maybe, which felt pretty cool. And that's also when I heard people in the distance, at least I think I did, unless I was losing my mind. I swear I heard people saying, yelling like get up from the distance, and I looked around, I couldn't see anyone, but like voices echo really far across the beach because it's like water. So I was kind of worried people were just watching me fall over and over, so I packed it up and left. And that pretty much sums it up. Obviously, I kept training my skills. I didn't really try handstands anymore after that, just because my wrists were in pain for days. I did do a couple L-sits here and there, but I kind of took it easy aside from my gym workouts for the next couple days. So yeah, in the end, I got the L-sit. I held a handstand for a few seconds. I'm not going to count it as a proper handstand though. But honestly, I don't want to end the video like this because I feel like I didn't give handstands a proper attempt since I only did it on sand. And that handstand, I still want. So right now, I'm going to try a handstand right now. Here are some of my final attempts of L-sits, handstands, plank holds. Honestly, I surprised myself. I didn't even go all in this month. Like, I missed sessions, I didn't stretch at all, I barely trained core, but even with all that, I still made way more progress than I thought I would. My L-sits feel solid now, the handstands are finally starting to click, and training was actually fun. And it got me thinking, if I made this much progress barely trying, imagine how far I could go if I really committed. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep training calisthenics on the side. Not serious, mostly just for fun, just keep building skills. And for anyone watching, I'm building this channel to document my life as I chase my dreams. I'm not perfect at talking to the camera yet, my videos are still a little iffy, but they're getting better every day and I'm showing up. Because I want this. If you want to see more videos like this and follow along the journey, drop a sub. I've got 2 more videos coming this week. Let's see how far we can go.